Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of car detailing in the Soviet Union. You might be surprised to learn that even in a time of limited resources, people still took pride in their vehicles and found ways to keep them looking their best. So, what did they use to polish their cars? Well, it wasn't like the fancy products we have today. They had to get creative and resourceful, and that's what makes this topic so interesting. One of the most popular formulations back then was a simple mixture of kerosene and a special type of paste called GOI paste. This paste, named after the State Optical Institute in Leningrad, was originally designed for polishing optical lenses, but it turned out to be surprisingly effective on car paint as well. To make this polish, you would mix a small amount of GOI paste with kerosene, creating a thick, gritty paste. This mixture was then applied to the car's surface using a soft cloth, and rubbed in circular motions until the desired shine was achieved. It's important to note that this method was quite labor-intensive and required a lot of elbow grease. But for many Soviet car owners, it was the only way to keep their vehicles looking presentable. And that's just one example of how people in the USSR found ways to make do with what they had. It's a testament to their ingenuity and resourcefulness, and it's a fascinating glimpse into a bygone era of car care. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are taking a trip back in time to the USSR to explore the world of car detailing in the Soviet Union. Now, you might be thinking, Soviet car detailing. What could that possibly be like? Well, let me tell you, it was a whole different ballgame compared to what we are used to today. Back then, the options were limited, and people had to get creative with what they had. So, let's dive into some of the most popular formulations used to polish cars in the USSR. The first recipe we are going to talk about is a classic, and it's one that many people in the USSR relied on. It's a simple mixture of TWO ingredients, GOI paste and kerosene. GOI paste is a polishing compound that was widely used in the USSR for everything from polishing metal to cleaning jewelry. It's a pretty abrasive paste, so it's not something you'd use on a regular basis, but it was great for removing scratches and restoring shine to older cars. Kerosene, on the other hand, was used as a solvent to help break down the GOI paste and make it easier to apply. It also helped to remove dirt and grime from the car's surface. To use this recipe, you would simply mix a small amount of GOI paste with kerosene until you had a smooth, paste-like consistency. Then, you would apply it to the car's surface using a soft cloth and rub it in circular motions. This method was effective, but it was also quite messy and time-consuming. Plus, kerosene is flammable, so you had to be careful when using it. Another popular recipe involved using toothpaste and water. Now, you might be thinking, toothpaste? Seriously? But hear me out. Back in the USSR, toothpaste was often made with abrasive ingredients like chalk and silica, which could actually be used to polish car paint. To use this recipe, you would simply mix a small amount of toothpaste with water until you had a paste-like consistency. Then, you would apply it to the car's surface using a soft cloth and rub it in circular motions. This method was less abrasive than using GOI paste, but it still wasn't ideal for regular use. It was more of a quick fix for minor scratches and blemishes. The third recipe we are going to talk about is a bit more specialized, and it involved using a mixture of wax and turpentine. Wax was used to protect the car's paint from the elements, and turpentine was used as a solvent to help the wax adhere to the surface. To use this recipe, you would simply mix a small amount of wax with turpentine until you had a smooth, paste-like consistency. Then, you would apply it to the car's surface using a soft cloth and rub it in circular motions. This method was more effective than the previous two, but it was also more time-consuming and required more effort. Now, let's talk about some of the specialties that were used in Soviet car detailing. One of the most common specialties was the use of sheepskin to polish cars. Sheepskin is a soft and absorbent material that can be used to buff out scratches and restore shine to car paint. Another specialty was the use of homemade car washes. People would often mix their own car wash solutions using ingredients like soap, water, and baking soda. And finally, let's not forget about the DIY approach to car detailing. People in the USSR were known for their resourcefulness, and they would often come up with their own unique methods for polishing their cars. So, there you have it. A glimpse into the world of Soviet car detailing. It was a world of limited options, but people made do with what they had, and they often came up with some pretty creative solutions. I hope you enjoyed this trip back in time. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.